topic of the day, you know, Cleveland. Are they going to win the AFC potentially in 2021? Take it or leave it. Cleveland wins the AFC. No?
I'm taking Kansas City again,
Kansas
baby.
City? I think Cleveland's a better team than Kansas City. I really do. I know Patrick Mahomes tips the scale, but
nah, it's not really
I like Cleveland's
they improved the offensive line.
I like Cleveland's defense a lot. Cleveland's defense.
Cleveland has problems at linebacker.
They got Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah now, who's a stud.
But one guy isn't going to solve all their problems.
But at least they addressed it a little bit, you know what I mean?
And the Browns' linebacker core is so unknown that they may have a rotation.
How do you feel about Baker, though? Because I think that a lot of people either love Baker or hate Baker. Where are you at? You're probably in the middle.
I love Baker. I don't know why so many people are shocked at what Baker Mayfield is. I already told people what he was back in 2018. You go back and watch my videos. I said that Baker Mayfield's #1 overall pick. If you give him talent, he can win. If you don't give him talent, he's not a QB that's going to carry you.
Yeah, that's about true. And you saw Cleveland, they became more of a run-first team this year where they took some of the pressure off of Baker, and Baker was able to deliver. You know, he won a playoff game versus Pittsburgh. And honestly, if certain things didn't break Kansas City's way in that playoff game, Cleveland could have beat Kansas City on the road. So my pick this year, look, I don't know who's going to make it out of the NFC, but I think Cleveland's going to make it out the AFC. I think their roster is loaded, and really defensively is where I draw the line as the difference between the teams. I know Mahomes. But
it's Kansas City's roster. You got to remember, Kansas City lost that Super Bowl, and now they have assembled one of the best offensive lines in the league.
Yeah, but even when their offensive line was healthy, it wasn't all that bad. Like, the problem with Kansas City was they had the injuries. Like,
but now it's going to be super dominant.
I know that, but at the same time, you look at the defense.
But they have concerns at corner, and Pittsburgh and Cleveland has concerns at linebacker.
But I think Cleveland.
But you got to remember, Kansas City had a better defense than Cleveland last season. They had Kansas City has had a top 10 defense the last 2 years.
That's because Cleveland's back end of the secondary wasn't very good, and they went out and addressed it. Like they went out.
But Kansas City's defense is still good. Like they still have.
They didn't look good in that Super Bowl. I'll tell you that.
But I mean, like when the offense isn't able to sustain drives, of course you're going to get gas and stuff like that. But I mean, Kansas City's defense was a top 10. It has been a top 10 defense for over the last 2 years.
It's been top 10, but.
And on top of that, they're moving Chris Jones to like DN.
Yeah,
somebody told me that like he lost weight, so that's going to be scary. So like I think Kansas City's defense is still going to be like around that top 10 range.
I think Cleveland's has a chance to be top 5. It's really good.
It definitely does, but like the linebacker
Myles
position,
Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney, and then they got a bunch of.
Jadeveon Clowney didn't do anything last season before. Jadeveon Clowney hasn't did anything his last 2 seasons.
But next to Myles Garrett, he will do something. Trust me.
I mean, he will, but at the end of the day, though, like, my thing is, like, I'm not saying Cleveland doesn't have a chance. I'm just saying, like, I choose Kansas City more.
Because you're conservative, like you said earlier.
Like, this is how I look at it. You don't
want to take the risk.
You know how I look at this discussion? And remember when everybody used to be like, well, Pittsburgh has a more talented team than New England? And we saw what happened. We saw what happened in that AFC Championship game. We saw it happen every time Pittsburgh played New England.
Andy Reid is good, but he's not Belichick. And Mahomes is great, but he's not quite Tom Brady, as we saw in 2 playoff games.
This how I look at it.
Tom Brady is the only reason why Patrick Mahomes doesn't potentially have more Super Bowls.
And even then, everybody's talking about Cleveland. What about Baltimore?
Baltimore's really good, but I think.
What about Pittsburgh? If you look at Cleveland,
the Pittsburgh Steelers again.
But if you look at Cleveland, if they have to play Pittsburgh or Baltimore in the playoffs, that's a game you don't want to play. It doesn't matter because listen,
they won't beat those teams though.
How do you know? Though the last teams that you never want to play in the playoffs. But this is why talent doesn't matter in these kind of games. Let me tell you why talent. Well, let me tell you why talent doesn't matter when it comes to divisional games. You play that same team twice. That team knows you better than any other team.
We didn't just bring up the talent. We brought up the coaching staff. And Kevin Stefanski is a great coach. Even versus Pittsburgh, he wasn't there.
But so are John Harbaugh and Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, but they don't got the roster.
If you're a Packers fan, do you really want to play the team that you already faced twice for a third time?
Probably not.
That's what happened when Tampa Bay played New Orleans last season for a third time.
Well, Tampa Bay is just better.
Like nobody wants to play. Nobody wants to play.
We knew Drew Brees was gonna choke, bro. We knew that.
Like you don't really see a divisional team you don't really see a team that plays a team in the division just mop the floor with them 3 times in a row. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's really hard to beat your divisional opponent when you face them 3 times a year because they know you better than anything else. They know your game plan. They know your strategy. They know your tendencies a little bit more.
That is true. But since you didn't pick Cleveland to win the AFC this year, next 5 years, take it or leave it. Will Cleveland win a Super Bowl?
I hate making these guarantees, man. I'm gonna say yeah. And if not the next 5, at least the next decade, they will win at least 1 Super Bowl.
I will say if they don't win a Super Bowl, it's not going to be because of the organization, because they put talent on that field. It's going to be because the players underperform. That's just my opinion.
Really. It's going to be because of Kansas City.
Oh, yeah, that might be true.
I'm trying to tell you, this is the story that we have with Pittsburgh trying to get over the hump with New England. I really think that Kansas City, but here's the thing, though. If you're Kansas City, I wouldn't want to face the Chargers in the playoffs.
Huh? What? They can beat the Chargers. You
do not want to face your divisional opponent. You do not want to face your divisional rival in the playoffs because that's where the majority of the upsets happen.
I trust them versus the Chargers. Trust me. The Chargers got to earn my respect in the playoffs. They got to earn my respect.
But I definitely look at them like, and they didn't even make it to the AFC Championship game. They lost to Buffalo. No, they lost to Kansas City. But a lot of people are still sleeping on Buffalo. Like, I think the AFC is a little bit more crowded than what.
Didn't you pick New England though to win the division?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean I don't think Buffalo can't win it.
What are you talking about Buffalo for? The last 2 years, Kansas City is.
But like Buffalo is still. I think I'm just really high on New England. Also, I think New England's in that conversation.
First of all,
I think that the AFC is a little bit more closer than what a lot of people think. Like, you look at Cleveland, you look at Kansas City. I don't think they're that far away from Baltimore. As a matter of fact, Baltimore has a stacked roster.
Of course, yes.
Only question we really have about Baltimore is their offensive line.
I got questions about Greg Roman and how they adapt the offense. I think the offensive line will be fine.
But their offensive line, they lost Orlando Brown. They lost their starting center last season, Matt Skura, to Miami. And they brought in Charlie Villanueva, a former Steeler.
We shall see what happens. My pick is Cleveland coming out of the AFC.
I'm going to say Kansas City.
NFC, I don't know. I just don't know yet.
I'm trying to tell you, it's going to be the Rams and Tampa.
Hot take, it will not be Tampa Bay.
I'm taking the Rams.
I can't tell you why, but I just think that some team's going to knock them off.
I'm taking the Rams. The Rams have the best team that matches up perfectly with the Buccaneers.
Yeah, I mean, from a roster standpoint, the Rams are pretty loaded. I mean, they made it to the playoffs with Jared Goff last year. You upgrade a quarterback, you think you're going to be better. I just don't know if they'll be that good in year 1 with Stafford. But hey, I never know. We'll see. All right, man. Well, we've been going for about 2 hours and 3 minutes. I'm gonna end the show right now. Appreciate you, JT, for coming on the show, man. It was pretty fun, you know.
Yeah, it was pretty fun, even though, you're stubborn. Your 3 reasons was, I'm stubborn, you don't trust Big Ben, even though you already said that the Steelers can win with him if he has talent. He has talent to win, so I don't really understand the logic there, but okay. And then the Steelers, not one of the best teams, but, the teams you named, the Steelers are better than the Chargers, but.
We'll see, man. We'll see. All right, take care, man.
Take care, man.
Thank you so much for watching this video today. Please also note that the Juiciest Sports Podcast is not just a YouTube channel. It is available on all podcasting platforms, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this content with all your friends. This podcast is my favorite thing in the entire world right now. It is my passion. And I want more people to listen to this podcast. I really want this podcast to grow. Also, a fun fact about me is that I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I am looking to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. And I potentially would like to start my own network if this podcast really truly grows. Or if I fall short of that goal, I would love to work for a big-time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. I am open to all networks. So if you believe in my dreams and you see or hear my passion through the screen, be sure to tell all your friends about the Juiciest Sports Podcast. Stay motivated, you guys. Have a God-blessed day, and I'm out.